Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're on question number 166 for DevOps or SRE interview preparation. The point of these videos is for you to get help in preparing for the interview so that when you go to the interview, you feel confident and also whatever question the interviewer throws at you, you feel like you know how to answer them. The more we practice, better we get. Quick reminder to subscribe to my channel if you're new to the channel. It's nothing for you, but it's a big help for my channel. So please do that. Okay, as you might remember from my other videos, I did some research over LinkedIn job description, 35 of them, and put together a sort of list of topics that we should be studying and putting more emphasis on. So here in the list, cloud is at the top, CI/CD is next, and so on and so forth. The ones at the top are more important. The ones at the bottom are not so important, but they should not be ignored because what you can see here is even the number 15 topic, system design, has seven came up 17 times out of 35 jobs that I looked into. So it is not something negligible. However, you only have so much time and energy, so focus more on the top ones than the bottom ones. That's an advice I can give you. Okay, today we're at number 12, Terraform. I have no idea why it is number 12 based on data. It should be like top 5. It is super, super important for interviews these days for DevOps and SRE roles because Terraform is used by just about every single company and team that has infrastructure in the cloud. So it is an extremely common tool now. So if you don't know Terraform, you're probably not going to get the job. So it is it is extremely important from my experience and from my intuition. The question today is, what is backend in Terraform and how do you code it? What does it mean to have a backend in Terraform, and how do you go about putting this in your infrastructure as code? Before I get to the answer, quickly, just a reminder, theflightspencer.com, he's my advisor. This is not an ad. I'm not sponsored by him by any means at all. But he's very, very passionate, and he's giving away a 1-hour session to anybody who is in the job market and needs help. So the word backend in Terraform code is really misleading, in my opinion. I've been in Terraform for, I don't know, 8-9 years now, and it still confuses me sometimes. Backend really means where we're going to store our state. Now, if we don't know what state is for Terraform, we should look that up, but I'm going to give you a little background. So if you were, let's say that you created a VPC, a subnet, and an EC2 instance through Terraform, and those things now live on AWS. Now, over time, you would be changing this infrastructure. So you have to have a place where Terraform will remember exactly what you have coded for your cloud, so that when you run Terraform plan or apply, it knows what to check. It knows what should be there to begin with, the actual state versus the desired state, right? So where do we store the data that tells us what is supposed to be in our cloud infrastructure? That state, and that state needs to live someplace. And when if you're working in a group of people where you have more than one person writing code to an infrastructure, that should be living in a remote place, not on your local machine, because then the next person doesn't have access to it, right? So it has to be in a remote place that is shared with only the people who should have access to it. Most common one is an S3 bucket, where you put the thing that way. Not only it's safe because it's not going to ever go away, but also you have versions of those automatically on AWS, right? So those are remote states. But when you were just doing development work, or you're doing work for yourself for Terraform, or you're practicing, you can do local state. So it's a local backend versus a remote backend, right? Again, the word backend is very misleading. Really, it should be called state location or something like that, right? So yeah, so backend is basically configuring where to store your state of infrastructure. And here's an example of putting them in an S3 bucket. So that's why the backend is backend value is S3, and this is the bucket name. And then when they say key, they really mean file name, right? This is the file name that's going to be in that bucket, and it's going to be in US East region. So you're defining exactly where your state will be stored as you work through Terraform. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, you can find me on LinkedIn, or you can leave a comment. And if you want me to cover a particular topic, same thing. All right. Hopefully this was useful to you. I will see you in the next one.